Assalomu alaykum va rahmatullohi taala va barakatuhu. Hurmatli aziz birodarlar, bandalarni har ikki dunyo saodatini ko'zlab ro'zani islomning farz ibodatlari qatoriga qo'shgan Alloh taologa hamd va sanolarimiz bo'lsin. Ummatlariga mehr ko'rsatib, ro'za tutmoqlikni barcha sir asrorlari bilan o'rgatib ketgan Habibimiz Muhammad Mustafa sallallohu alayhi va sallamga bitmas tuganmas salovat va salomlarimiz bo'lsin. Aziz birodarlar, mana Qur'oni Karimda, sunnati nabaviyada ro'za tutishlik borasida biz uchun ma'lumotlar yetarlicha. Alloh taolo o'zining kalomi Qur'oni Karimda marhamat qilib aytadiki, Astagfiru billah: Ya ayyuhallazina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba alallazina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Sadaqallohul azim. Ey iymon keltirganlar, sizlarga oldingi ummatlarga ro'za Ramazon farz qilinganidek sizlarga ham ro'za tutishlik farz bo'ldi. Ey shoyatki taqvodor bo'lsangizlar deb Alloh marhamat qildi. Mana bu fazilatli Ramazon oyi, aziz birodarlar, buni ro'zasini tutishlik farz. Kechqurunlardagi qiyomul layl, tarovih namozlarini o'qishlik sunnat. Va payg'ambarimiz alayhisolatu vassalom yana bir muborak bir hadislarda har vaqtki Ramazon kirib kelsa tabriklardilar. Ramazonni kirishligi bilan xursand bo'lishlik, Ramazonni chiqishligi bilan xafa bo'lishlik bu musulmonlarning odatlari hisoblanadi. Chunki Ramazon oyida Qur'on nozil bo'lgan. Ramazon oyida Alloh subhanahu va taolo osmon eshiklarini ochadi, jahannam eshiklarini yopadi, shaytonlar zanjirband qilinadi. Muborak hadisda payg'ambarimiz alayhisalomdan kelgan hadisda an Abi Hurayrata anin nabiy sallallohu alayhi va sallam قال آتاكم رمضان شهر مبارك فرض الله عز وجل عليكم صيامه تفتح له فيه أبواب السماء وتغلق فيه أبواب الجحيم وتغل فيه ومردة الشياطين لله فيه ليلة خير من 1000 شهر من حرم خيرها فقد حرم. رواه النسائي والبيهقي. Abu Hurayra radhiyallohu anhudan rivoyat qilinadi ushbu hadis. Payg'ambarimiz Muhammad Mustafa sallallohu alayhi va sallam sizlarga muborak Ramazon oyi kirib keldi. Alloh azza va jalla sizlarga uning ro'zasini tutishlikni farz qildi. Alloh taolo Ramazon oyida osmon eshiklarini ochadi, jahannam eshiklarini yopadi. Unda o'zboshimcha shaytonlar zanjirband qilinadi. Unda Allohning bir kechasi bor. O'sha kechada Alloh taolo 1000 oydan afzal bo'lgan ajrlarni yog'diradi. Kim shu kechadan mahrum bo'lsa, battaqiq mahrum bo'libdi deb marhamat qildilar. Mana bu muborak hadisda bizga ma'lum bo'lishicha Ramazon oyini kirishligi bilan osmon eshiklari ochilib, jahannam eshiklari yopilib, shaytonlar zanjirband qilinib, hamda bu oyda duolar qabul bo'lar ekan aziz birodarlar. Hamda nimaiki Alloh taolodan so'rasak, Alloh subhanahu va taolo ijobat qilar ekan. Shuning uchun aziz birodarlar, har bir kishiki mana ertalab turar ekan, saharda, kechqurun kirishligi bilan Alloh taologa zikr qilsa, Qur'oni Karimda Alloh taolo aytadiki: "Fa subhanallohi hina tumsuna va hina tusbihun va lahul hamdu fis samawati wal ardi va ashiyya va hina tuzhirun." Bas tun kirishligi bilan, tong otishligi bilan ham Alloh taoloni poklab yod etinglar. Alloh o'zi tunni ham, kunni ham almashtirib turadigan yagona zot o'zi. Osmonlar va yerning egasi o'zi hisoblanadi. Hamd va sano ham uniki. Oqshomda va peshinda ham Alloh taoloni poklab yod eting deb Alloh taolo Qur'oni Karimda Rum surasini 17-18 oyatlarda Alloh o'zi marhamat qiladi. Payg'ambarimiz alayhisalom aytadilarki, mana bu ushbu muborak bir hadisda: "Man qala حين يصبح وحين يمسى سبحان الله وبحمده وسبحان الله العظيم 100 مرة لم يأتي أحد يوم القيامة بأفضل مما جاء به إلا أحد قال مثل ما قال أو زاد عليه. Bu muborak hadisda Nabiy sallallohu alayhi vasallam kim tong otganda va kech kirganda Subhanallohi va bihamdihi ni va subhanallohil azimni 100,000 marotaba aytsa yoki 100 marotaba aytadigan bo'lsa, qiyomat kuni biror bir kishi u keltirgan narsadan ko'ra afzali bilan kelmaydi, magar undan ko'ra ko'proq tasbihni subhanallohi va bihamdihini aytgan kishigina kattaroq bir afzalroq narsa bilan kirib keladi deydilar. Alloh hammamizni Parvardigor o'ziga hamd va sano aytadiganlardan qilgan bo'lsin. Hammamizni Alloh taolo tutayotgan ro'zalarimizni qabul aylasin. Mana bugun ushbu iftorlik ehsonida ya'ni Amerika Qo'shma Shtatlari hamda O'zbekiston Respublikasini o'rtasidagi aloqalarni bir mustahkamlash hamda O'zbekistonimizni qadriyatlari bilan bu Amerika Qo'shma Shtatlarini qadriyatlariga ya'ni muvofiq holatdagi bir uchrashuv ekan. Aziz muhtaram birodarlar, bu iftorlikni tashkillashtirayotgan Tolibjon ukalarimiz hamda u kishining atroflaridagi bo'lganlarga Alloh kuch-quvvat bersin. Hamda mana bu Amerika Qo'shma Shtatlarining aynan New York mana shu shtatidagi bu yerdagi katta martabali mehmonlar ham kirishligi, kelishligi ham inshaalloh ko'zda tutilgan. Kelinglar aziz birodarlar, ushbu fursatdan foydalanib hammalaringizni iltimos qilamiz, bir o'tirib Qur'oni Karimdan tinglashga. Qur'oni Karimdan keyingi duolar albatta ijobat bo'ladi. Bu yerda mana masjid Imom Abu Hanifa rahimahulloh mazhab boshimizning nomlariga qo'yilgan masjidning mutasaddilari, imom xatiblari kelganmiz. Bir Qur'on tilovat qilamiz. A'udhu billahi minash shaytonir rojim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alif Lam Ra. تلك آيات الكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت 11 كوكبا إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. İlahi amin. Parvardigara, o'zingga hamd, Rasulullohga salovat va salomlarimiz bo'lsin. Muborak oy, muborak kunlarda poy tahorat, ixlos, muhabbat bilan ojizona o'zingni kalomingni eshitdik. Aytilingan masalai masoil, amru ma'ruflarimizdan hosil bo'lgan savoblardan Janob payg'ambarimiz ikki dunyoning sarvari koinoti bo'lgan payg'ambarimiz Muhammad Mustafa sallallohu alayhi va sallamning ruhoniyatlariga, ashabi ikromlariga, chahoryorlar, tobiinlarga, dini pok, shariati g'arro kalomingni bizgacha yetkazishga xizmat qilgan qori qurro olimi va ammallar, mahallalarda istiqomatda o'tgan, masjidlarimizda ibodatda o'tkazganlar, qolaversa ushbu dargoh mana iftorlik ehsoniga uzoq yaqindan qadam bosib kelgan bizni siz aziz jamoatimni o'tgan ota avlodimiz, ajdodlarimiz barchalarini Allohim ruhlarini shod, joylarini jannatlardan aylagin. Allohim o'zing ro'zadorlarni duolarini qabul qilaman, duo qilinglar, men ijobat etaman degan ko'rsatmanga muvofiq Allohim barchalarimizni qalblarimizdagi shar'iy tilak, istak, maqsadlarimiz bor. O'zing bilguvchisan. Qaysi birlarimizni Allohim nimaiki maqsadlarimiz borki farzandlik bo'lsak degan niyatla yurganlar bor. Allohim solih farzandlarni ato etgin. Parvardigor hojatlari bor, hojatlarini ravo, bemorlarimizga dardlariga shifo, qarzdorlarimizga o'zing najot. Parvardigor mana bu iftorlik ehsonlarni yaxshi bir niyatlarda tashkil ettirayotgan ukalarimizni Allohim tan jonlarini salomat aylagin. Olib borayotgan xayrli ishlarda o'zing madadkor, din tarafidan rushd hidoyat, dunyo tarafidan baxt va saodat ato etgin. Hamda Amerika Qo'shma Shtatlari va hamda O'zbekistonimizni o'rtasidagi aloqalarimizni mustahkam va hamda vatandoshlarimizni mana bu joylarda kelib tadbirkorlik bilan hamda o'zlarini barcha bir boshlagan ishlari borki, manfaatli ishlari, Allohim mana shu boshlagan manfaatli ishlarni o'zing davomiy aylagin. Allohim hammalarimizni Parvardigor ikki dunyoni baxt va saodatiga musharraf etgin. Yurtimizni tinch aylagin, osmonlarimizni musaffo, barcha yer yuzidagi xalqlarni Allohim xayrlik ishlarda o'zing madadkor bo'lgin. Robbana atina fid dunya hasana va fil oxirati hasana va qina azabannar. Va sallallohu ta'ala ala xayri xalqihi Muhammad va ala alihi va ashabihi ajma'in bi rahmatika.
Mr. Adams, thank you very much for coming.
You're quite welcome. It's great to be here.
Thank you. So the Uzbek community is trying to play a very active role in the social life of New York City. But I think it's not enough for fully engaged. So how could the Uzbek community become more engaged in social life of New York? What do you think?
Well, first, I don't think they're trying. I think they are.
Oh, thank you.
Uzbek's community is a strong community, and when you do a real examination, you'll see they're doing the most important part of the New York City's recovery. That is believing in public safety. Small business owners, they are very business-minded. They contribute to our tax base, and they're very family-oriented. Circling around education, how do you ensure the next generation is continuing to move forward? And so my recommendation to the Uzbek community is to do three more things. One, volunteer as much as possible, not only in the Uzbek community, but outside the community. Really start building roads outwardly so that people can see how much the Uzbek community love New York City and love this country. Number two, I think it's important to participate in ways that we can bring people together. We call it breaking bread, building bonds. 1,000 dinners across the city that we're doing, 10 people at each dinner coming from different cultures. We want the Uzbek community to also sponsor some of those dinners and be in the room to talk about the beauty of the culture. And lastly, participate in politics. Mm-hmm. The decisions that are being made in many corners of our lawmakers is not in alignment with what the Uzbek community believes and what I believe. The Uzbek community, as I stated, they believe in public safety. We need to have everyone voiced together around public safety. How can we ensure that our city is safe? And if they go and volunteer at an elected official's office, if they make sure that everyone in the community is registered to vote, even if someone is undocumented, I'm sure the children are second generation, they should be registered. It should be a prerequisite when we're at a Iftar. It should be, is everyone here registered to vote? Those are important ways to continue to make inroads in the city.
Thank you very much. Very interesting.
Yes.
So the next question, you know, for the many of young New Yorkers, you are a role model because before you served for the people of New York as a police officer, as a state senator, and of course as a BBP, the Brooklyn Borough President, and now you're the 110th mayor of New York City. So, and before you mentioned about that we have to participate in the politics, how can we do that? The young representatives of Uzbek community in New York.
Well, I hope I'm a role model for some of the older New Yorkers also, you know?
Sure.
But seriously, it's about, people think it's hard. Let's start on a basic level. Every young person should know who their state senator is, who their assembly person is, who their congressperson is, and who their council person. They should go in and make sure that they know the basics of who is actually making decisions in their community. Once they know that, they should go and introduce themselves. And they should volunteer in their office. They should intern if they are 16, 17, 18. Go in and say, I want to intern in your office. I want to learn about the process. They should go to the community boards, the precinct councils, so that they can see. They should learn about what civic organizations are in their community. And so this is an easy way to go in and introduce themselves. And then they should find one area that is important to them, that they have a lot of passion for. It could be education. It could be for domestic violence. It could be for making sure businesses are safe. Find that area and use that as a launching pad of how do I get engaged in politics in my city. It's very easy to do in New York and in America to participate in politics. Join a club, decide if you want to register as a Democrat, independent, or whomever,
Yes.
but that is how you get started, and you will find that you can really make an inroad in your local neighborhood and then really nationally.
Thank you very much. And the last question. So the main partner of this event, the Silk Road Foundation, and the main mission of this organization united all of the representatives of Central Asian communities here in New York. They try to help them in education, in language classes, and of course legal support as well. So how's your opinion? How is important the role of Silk Road Foundation in order to help achieve that?
Well, Silk Road Foundation is an amazing foundation and organization, and it comes from a long list of traditional organizations that were here to help new arrivals acclimate themselves to a city. We used to have something called the settlement houses. When people arrived from different countries, they would stay at the settlement houses, get information, get acclimated to what it is to be in a city. The city can be intimidating if you don't have someone holding your hand going through the process. If you speak with anyone from the Uzbek community, when they first came here, it was extremely challenging. They moved to communities like Brooklyn, where they were able to learn from the city and learn from those who arrived first, to learn about business, to learn about education, to learn about how do you access city services, and then you continue to grow. That's what Silk Road Foundation is about. It's so important. It is part of the pieces that allows individuals to actually really participate in the American dream. I'm so proud of them. And again, they're part of the rich tradition of organizations that have come together. The new arrivals learn the hard way. They start organizations like Silk Roads to make sure those who come behind them don't have to go through the same challenges that they experience. And one should understand, everyone has it difficult when they first arrive to the country. It's not unique. The narrative is the same. When you look under, I like to say, the fingernails of every group, you see the dirt and grime of climbing up the mountain one hand at a time to participate in an American dream. But when you get at the top of that mountain and you look out, you say, darn good to be here in this place we call America.
Very nice. You know, I know as a mayor, you have many challenges and problems here because it's a very hard and difficult work. But at the end of this interview, I'd like to mention the words of a very famous English writer, George Bernard Shaw, who once said, "Optimist people invented a plane, but pessimist people design a parachute." Let's every time to be an optimistic person.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm the pilot of the plane.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. What's going on? No, good. My brother, how are you? Thank you. Good to see you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and good evening, everyone. On behalf of our Uzbek community, it is my pleasure to welcome our honorable guest, the Mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, who is an outstanding leader of a great host city, New York, and at the same time, he is a constant friend of Uzbek community. Thank you very much for coming, Mr. Adams. As we gather here tonight, during the holy month of Ramadan, we are reminded of the values of compassion, generosity, and community that are the heart of this observance. Mayor Adams is a strong advocate for these values and has worked tirelessly and to support, uplift our diverse community. We are grateful for his presence here tonight and for his dedication to building a more inclusive and equitable society. Please join me in giving Uzbek American warm welcome to a person who has served the people of New York as the police officer, state senator, Brooklyn Borough president, and now as the 110th mayor of New York City, Eric Adams.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. And I am not just the mayor of New York. I like to consider myself as your brother. So as your brother, we have the first Uzbek mayor in Eric Adams. You know, it's good to be here with you. And to my brother Talib, we met several years ago, and I cannot thank you enough for your support, for being with me as I ran for the role of the mayor of the city of New York. Talib, your vision of putting together the Silk Road is really, it's in the same concept and thought that so many organizations have done for so many years. When you think about it, if it was the Henry Street Settlement, if it was the Puerto Rican Legal Defense Fund, if it was the NAAC Legal Defense Fund, if it was the JCRC, if it was the Caribbean American Women Association, there's a rich tradition in this country that the first arrivals paved the way for the future arrivals. The first arrivals always go through difficult moments and difficult times, and they learn from their experiences to assist those who come behind them. And that's what the Silk Road Foundation is. It is to make sure that we help all groups in general, but specifically the Uzbek community as they assimilate into the great culture of America. This is an amazing city, an amazing country, and it is in alignment with what you believe is important. This is a community that believes in public safety. This is a community that believes in education. This is a community that believes in families and protecting our children. This is a community that believes in small businesses to ensure that small businesses can grow. Your belief is in alignment with my administration is in alignment. And so in order for us to continue to produce the product that we want in New York and in America, we must be united together in the process. And so I have 3 asks for you during this season of Ramadan, this season of which is probably one of the most holiest periods here in this country. This is the season of Ramadan. This is the season of Easter. This is the season of Passover. Throughout this entire city and country, families are going to come together and share a meal and engage in real conversation about spiritual faith. I am a man of faith and will always be a person of faith. But here's what we must do. Allah states it is important to be a devoted worshiper, but it's also important to be a devoted practitioner. We cannot merely worship. We have to practice what the Imam teaches us while we're in our masjids or while we're in our mosques, our churches, our synagogues. We must then implement what we've learned. I always talk about, as a young man, I learned how to box. And when I was in the gym, I was great. But whenever I got in the ring, I would get knocked out. And my trainer would say, because you leave your best fight in the gym instead of taking it into the ring. And that's what I'm saying to you as devoted worshipers. You can't only practice in the gym. The synagogue is the gym. The church is the gym. The mosque is the gym. You must now go into the ring of life. And what does that ring of life looks like? It looks like the gun violence that we're seeing in our city. It looks like the homelessness that we're seeing in our city. It looks like the large number of people who are coming here fleeing persecution in other countries to come here. We can't have a city with 1 million Muslims and we're seeing the level of violence that we are experiencing in our city. That means we are not living up to the role of a practitioner. Lawyers don't go to law school just to read. They go to law school to practice the law. Doctors don't go to medical school just to learn the practice and theories of medicine. They go to heal. We cannot be people of faith just to learn the theories and philosophy of our faith. We must be practitioners and carry out our faith every day. So I need you to be part of the healing of this city. And it also means registering to vote. We need 1 million Muslims registered to vote in this city. Your power is in your vote. So when we walk into a masjid, by the time we exit, we should have a voter registration card in our hand. Even if you can't vote particularly, specifically, because of your document, or are you documented or not, someone in your family can, your children can, someone can participate. Then we need to volunteer. Too much is given, much is expected. We need to spend time in our homeless shelters, our senior centers. We need to spend time to give back in a real way, to really live out the principles of Islam and what Islam represents and what all of our faiths represents. I know this community so well. This community supported me overwhelmingly when I ran to become the mayor of the city of New York. I cannot thank you enough. We owe each other now to make this city what we want it to be. Ramadan calls for us to fast throughout the day. It's to remind us of the sacrifice that we must make. But let's keep in mind, the day of not being able to eat until sunset is not unique just to the Ramadan period. Countless number of New Yorkers don't have a meal. Food insecurity is real to so many people. It's important for us to learn the lessons of Ramadan and apply it to our lives. And so as fellow practitioners, let's join together to make this city and make this country what we want it to be. I cannot thank you enough for allowing me to come in to join you today. My brother Talib, I appreciate you for your support, for your friendship, and for being a leader. We are on the road together. Let it be the Silk Road that we expect. Salam alaikum.
Inshallah, next we're going to honor one of our brothers here, Jamshed /Firdevs. Very special guy in the community. Brother Talib, if you want to come as well. He's going to look at the picture. Just look Thank you, thank you.
Qadrli vatandoshlar, biz davom etamiz va hozirda navbat albatta merimizga bitta chiroyli qarshi chop qo'ygan holda. Qarshilar bo'lsin. Navbat O'zbekistonning Birlashgan Millatlar Tashkilotidagi doimiy vakili Baxtiyor Ibragimovga. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce you His Excellency Baxtiyor Ibragimov, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Uzbekistan to the United States. Ambassador Ibragimov brings with him a wealth of experience and knowledge, having served in various high-level diplomatic roles in Uzbekistan. He is a tireless advocate for international cooperation and dialogue and has been instrumental in promoting peace and stability in the region. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to His Excellency Baxtiyor Ibragimov.
Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli vatandoshlar, aziz mehmonlar, Erik Adams janobi oliylari, Kagan janobi oliylari, aziz do'stlar. Avvalambor muborak Ramazon munosabati bilan bugungi dasturxon yozilganiga sizlarni chin qalbimdan bu yerda olqishlash uchun o'zimni baxtiyor deb hisoblayman. Bugun fursatdan foydalanib avvalambor bugungi dasturxonni yozgan Tolib aka va Jamshid akaga o'z minnatdorchiligimni bildirmoqchiman. Dunyoning islom ahlini birlashtiradigan, birodar bo'lib yashashga da'vat etadigan muqaddas Ramazon odam qadriyatini ulug'lanishda o'zining muhim rolini o'ynaydi. Shu bois biz bu yerda yig'ilgan ekanmiz. Bu ulug' qutlug' kunlarda Ramazon oyida birgalashib, Ramazon ro'za tutganlar birgalashib, mana ulug' mehmonimiz bor. Shular bilan kutganimizdan behuyot baxtiyormiz. Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me extend my sincere appreciation for you to joining the Uzbek community in celebrating one of the cherished holidays of the Muslim population, Ramadan. Ramadan is one of the important religious observance among Muslim community across the world. And today we get together in order to jointly break our fast. Mr. Mayor, you are well known among Uzbek community of New York, and I've been in touch with our community members. They always praise you for your consideration and for your close support of Uzbek community of New York. Therefore, taking this opportunity, I would like to extend, on behalf of New Yorkers from Uzbekistan, our appreciation for your strong support of our community. We hope that our cooperation between New York office and the Uzbek community residing in New York City will continue and further forge, and we're in a position to extend all possible assistance to you, and we count that you will continue to support our Uzbek community. So taking this opportunity, I would like once again to extend everybody happy Ramadan and enjoy this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So, dear brothers and sisters, as Mr. Mayor and Mr. Ibragimov mentioned before, the organizers and the partner of this event, Silk Road Foundation. That's why I'd like to invite here one of the representatives of this organization, because the next speaker is a distinguished member of Uzbek community in New York. He is an executive director of Silk Road Foundation, Igor Sterenko. Igor has been a passionate advocate for the interest of Uzbek community and working to promote cultural understanding and community engagement. Please welcome Igor Sterenko.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and guests and friends. I have grown up in Samarkand, Uzbekistan, and found my new home in this wonderful country and in this wonderful city of New York. I have followed the path of the millions of immigrants coming to New York, as well as hundreds of thousands of immigrants from Central Asia and my native Uzbekistan, my native Samarkand. When I came here 20 years ago, every time when I tell someone that when I was telling someone that I was from Uzbekistan, most people will ask me, from Pakistan or Afghanistan, because most people didn't know where Uzbekistan was. And look at where we are here today, 20 years later. Times have changed. We have so many of our Uzbek people present here today, including people from my hometown of Samarkand. This is my people. The city of Samarkand has been at the crossroads of all cultures of world cultures for the 2,500 years. And it's one of the most important hubs of the Great Silk Road traversing Central Asia. There is so much resemblance and connection between Samarkand and New York. New York is the capital of the world trade of today's dates. Is there any wonder why so many of our people have found our new home here in New York? I'm just one of them. Our Central Asian community, made up of Uzbeks, Tajiks, Kyrgyz, Kazakhs, and Turkmens, is known for many remarkable qualities. Our hospitality and delicious cuisine are very well known. Our contribution to science, such as the foundations of algebra, medicine, and astronomy, has left a lasting legacy. However, the most vital aspect of our culture is the capacity of kindness, tolerance, and acceptance of diversity. We have carried these values with us to our new home in America, enriching the fabric of American society with our unique perspectives and traditions. This week, I had the pleasure of attending a passionate and powerful speech by New York City Mayor Eric Adams, and just witnessed yet one more speech. His words resonated deeply with me, and I believe they will resonate with all of us here today. Mayor Adams said, "Don't be a good boxer in the gym, be a good boxer in the ring." This means that we must turn our shared values and beliefs and philosophies into action and become practitioners of these values in our everyday lives. Let's connect with other immigrant communities of New York and be good practitioners of our Central Asian culture of kindness, tolerance, and diversity. When we saw that despite of hundreds of thousands of Central Asians living in New York, no one ever organized our community or represented our community, we felt the urge to found the Silk Road Foundation that will serve that purpose. As co-founders of this organization, we have witnessed the challenges faced by our fellow immigrants, including language barriers, healthcare issues, lack of access to education, and legal hurdles. We believe that every individual, regardless of their background, deserves a chance to thrive and succeed in this wonderful city. Our ultimate goal is to build a stronger, more vibrant community that celebrates diversity and promotes cultural exchange. We are passionate about this mission, and we believe that we can make a real difference in the lives of our community in New York City. Thank you for your attention and for supporting the mission of the Silk Road Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Igor. When I interviewed Mr. Adams just a couple of minutes ago, and I said that as a mayor, of course, he has many problems and challenges in New York City, but I said that he has to be an optimistic person because Bennett Shaw once said that optimist people invented a plane, but pessimist people design a parachute. And after that, Mr. Adams said, "I'd like to be a pilot of this plane." Mr. Adams, we always support you. I wish you all the best and be one of a kind. Thank you very much for coming. Hurmatli do'stlar, bitta chiroyli qarsak sizlardan Mr. Adamsga o'rgilib ketsin. Yana davomiy qarsanglar. Dirishilgi boshchiligida. Rahmat. Dear ladies and gentlemen, now I'd like to invite here the member of our city, Ari Kogan. Of course, he has a special message for us. Please welcome.
Partiler.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Happy Ramadan. Thank you for inviting me today. I'm privileged to represent one of the largest Uzbek American community in New York City, which is Southern Brooklyn. I'm representing 47th District. Of course, I'm happy to see here Mayor of New York City, Honorable Eric Adams. Of course, my good friends, Uzbeki diplomats, and Silk Road Foundation. Last year, I had the honor and privilege to spend 10 days in Uzbekistan. That was my first trip to Uzbekistan. And I was very much impressed by the hospitality of Uzbeki people and by the relationship between various communities in Uzbekistan, which is a great example for us, for New York City. By the way, I would like also to acknowledge my good friends there from my district, so I have to say Mahalla USA, Abdulmalik Ahmedov, thank you so much for being here and for your great work to bring people and communities together. Thank you so much. Mahalla USA. So I would like to say that Uzbeki community is example to everyone, how to be true friends. You know, like hospitality is amazing. I still remember someone mentioned here Samarkand, but I remember Kokand at midnight. Like they didn't know that I'm from America, they didn't know like that I'm councilman. And I came from with few journalists, you know, from New York Times and Wall Street Journal, and they also didn't know who these people are. So they stopped us on the street, gave us food, and we sat down over there and we talked. Like they do it to everybody. They welcome everyone to their homes, to their country, to their hearts, you know. That the most important hospitality is unimaginable. Look at this beautiful restaurant. Look at this great, amazing, fabulous, hardworking community. So thank you so much for being important part of American and New York society. And again, I'm very honored to represent such an amazing community. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kogan. Yes, you mentioned before, you've been in Uzbekistan, and it was an incredible experience for you, because we talked about that on the interview. Thank you very much. Bitta chiroyli qarsayni Ari Koganga ham deb qo'yamiz, marhamat. Barchaga yoqimli ishtaha. Qadrli vatandoshlar, menimcha juda ham chiroyli iftor bo'lib o'tdi. Chunki bu iftorda biz duolar bilan boshladik. Agarda ruxsat bersanglar, duolar bilan tugatamiz va hozirda navbat Zafarxon akaga. Marhamat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الذين يقولون ربنا إننا آمنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وقنا عذاب النار الصابرين والصادقين والقانتين والمنفقين والمستغفرين بالأسحار شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا هو والملائكة وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين يا ربنا o'qilgan oyati karima o'qilguvchi eshitguvchi barchalarimizdan o'zingni dargohingda hosil qabul aylagin hosil bo'lgan savoblardan jamiki o'tgan payg'ambarlar jamiki o'tgan pir ustozlar ushbu manzil makonda omin deb turgan bizni sizlardan umidi duoda o'tib ketgan ajdodu jaddodlarimizni qolaversa ushbu manzil makonni mana sohiblari bo'lgan Jamshid akamizdan umidi duoda o'tib ketgan ota avlod ona avlodlarini ushbu iftorliklarni tashkillashtirayotgan mana Tolibjon akalarimizni hammalarini mana shu joyga mas'ul bo'lib shu joylarda mana New Yorkning shaharning mana hokimlarini chaqirishlikda bu yerda xizmat qilganlar Amerika konsulligidagi O'zbekistonning mana elchilari barchalarini Allohim tanlarini sihat salomatlikda bardavom qilgin olib borayotgan xayrli ishlarda o'zing madadkor bo'lgin bugungi tutgan ro'zalarimizni o'zing qabul aylagin Ramazoni sharifning fayzi barakoti bilan barchamizda nimaiki qalblarimizda tilaklarimiz xayrli maqsadlarimiz bo'lsa o'zing ijobat o'zimiz biz kutgandan ham ko'ra xayrlisiga o'zing Parvardigor muvaffaq etgin yurtimizni tinch osmonimizni musaffo barcha mo'min musulmon diyorlarini o'zing tinchlikda osoyishta aylay bardavom qilgin va sallallohu vasallam ala sayyidina Muhammad va ala alihi va ashabihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya dasturxonga duo qilaylik alhamdulillahillazi at'amana va saqana va ja'alana minal muslimin jazakallohumma khayran kathiran kathira aftar indakumus soimun akala ta'amukumul abrar va sallat alaykumul malaika Parvardigor mana taomlarni pishirgan choylarni bizlargacha yetkazishga xizmat qilgan masalliqlarni tayyorlagan qozon boshida bo'lgan oshpazu choypazlarimiz qolaversa shu manzilning sohiblari Jamshid akamizni Allohim ikki dunyoning baxt saodatiga o'zing yetkazib o'ylagan maqsadlariga o'zing muvaffaq etgin barcha uzoq yaqindan hurmat izzat qilib kelgan mehmonlarimizni qadamlariga ajr hasanotlar yog'dirgin Allohumma solli va sallim va barik alayhi assalomu alaykum